What's going on, y'all? It's Fully Celeb, and you tapped into Popcorn Matinee's Popcorn Conversation. And today's special guest comes all the way from New Jersey, Tom Kubrak, the director of My City, who's about to release his next short film, My City High Tide, which is part two to the series. If you want to support the production of My City High Tide, definitely hit the link in the description. If you're a filmmaker, you don't want to miss this conversation.
They hate you when they see you got that glow. They love it when you're 6 feet in that hole. Give you flowers when you can't feel it no more. They bring roses when you can't smell them no more. They hate you when they see you got that glow. They love it when you're 6 feet in that hole. Give you flowers when you can't feel it no more. They bring roses when you can't smell them no more. They love you when you die.
What inspired you to be a filmmaker?
Oh man, that's the question, isn't it? My filmmaking journey is not like others. Although I did enjoy, obviously, watching films growing up. I had a gap that needed to be filled in my life when I, decided to leave school. Really, I just was looking for what I wanted to do. So I started to write for a website I started, which was for a business I started. So this was the website for the business, which ultimately failed. But what I got out of it, there's always positives out of each situation, was writing. And, I just started writing about people I met on the streets. I was given food and delivering smoothies in the middle of the night to the homeless population we had and where I was living at the time in Central Jersey. One thing I like to do is I like to talk to these people, figure out what their stories were. If they were open, like some people aren't open, they'll just like take the food, the smoothie. But that really inspired me because I wanted other people to see, and feel what these people were feeling. So that got me into my first script. I'm like, oh, this would be cool to be in like a little film. So I made like a little narrative about some of the experiences and the people I met while on these late night journeys. And without ever reading a script, looking at a screenplay, I wrote a film script. This was about 6 years ago now.
Okay.
And then it just kept going from there. And then after that, I actually started reading film scripts because I figured out this is what I wanted to do. I really enjoy this.
Okay. What was the name of your first project? The one that you was just speaking of?
Well, it never was filmed. It's actually a long film that I'm hoping to get filmed one day.
Okay.
I have the script for it, and maybe if anyone listens to it and likes the could see it be made, but we'll talk about that another time. But it's called The Return.
The Return. Okay.
It's I guess there's a short log line. It's about a homeless community. One man who's robbed, stole from within his community the people that I thought he loved, and he's gets into a rage, and he gets brought back to reality somehow, and brought back to surviving and getting out of this rage. I haven't looked at that script for a while, so that was the very first one I did.
Okay. So you made the first. Was that your first short feature film? Your first short film, My City.
No. That was I've done little short films That was probably my seventh.
So okay.
Um, the seventh or eighth one.
Okay.
Yeah, I did The Game, The First Move. I started a little series called The Hunters. And then I wrote a bunch of scripts for actors, and they did like short scenes for my writing, which was really cool.
Okay. So do you also film or you write?
I'm behind the camera. I guess I put in my statement about this next film when we launched our GoFundMe was, I know my weaknesses. Like, of course I could pick up a camera, but my role is behind the camera, writing, making sure the script's going, making sure we're all in the right place. Telling, with my DP, like my vision of this project, and putting him in the right place to succeed, and then trusting them that they'll, know what to do. So I'm not using the camera. I'm just facilitating, directing, and making sure everyone is in the right position at the right time, so we can get the right shot.
Okay. So you did about like 7 or 8 projects. Like, how hard is it like working with a DP? Because I've been on set sometimes where like the DP and the directors clash because it's like, the DP have his own vision for like how they might want the scene to look, and the director had their own vision, and it's like sometimes they clash, but then sometimes you get them to work together perfectly. Like how?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think last time I had a good. Yeah, that's a great question. I think that is a very contentious relationship between the DP and the director, because the DP's, without the DP, you got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The director can pick up the camera, but the DP knows the ins and outs of that camera. And so a lot of times it's like, I'm smarter than you kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I know more than you. I don't think I clash very much with the DP at all, because I don't know. I actually try not to learn too much about the camera, because I never be smarter than my DP. I want to be able to trust my guy so we don't have that argument, which may sound counterintuitive, but it allows me to concentrate on the actors more, and really look at the scene, and just be satisfied with what we get. So I think that's one thing that I have an advantage over other directors too, is I know what I'm good at, and I do that. And the stuff I'm not good at, I don't really try to contend with that. So my DP, I just let them do their thing, and I give them a few words. This is what I'm looking for, and then they do it. They do what they do.
No, that sounds great. That sounds like a great relationship. So do you often use the same DP all the time, or you switch them up?
I've worked with 3 DPs so far, because I make films. I also ghostwrite too. So I spend a lot of when I'm not making a film, I'm spending months working on a screenplay. For ghostwriting a screenplay, doing articles. So when I'm filming, yeah, I've only worked a few, and they're great. I'm definitely open to working with more. So yeah.
Okay. So when you select your cast, how do you do your casting calls? Or do you let somebody else cast for you?
So I think I've been blessed in in the short film realm, I think it's important for you to establish relationships before you get these ideas. So for the last 6 years, I'm constantly reaching out to actors. Actors are reaching out to me on Instagram, through email. And I don't have to go far at all for so it's really, I've been doing the casting myself. Okay. Because, I haven't embarked on a major project yet. This is going to be my first big project here, even though for some people it's not that, because they've done feature films. This isn't a feature film project we're doing. It's another short film. But I do it all myself. I fortunately blessed to have established some really great relationships throughout the years. Phil Husbands being one of them, Zach Volk, two guys that stuck by me, through thick and thin, through the pandemic, and all of that. So those are some of the first guys I met. And, it's awesome to have some trustworthy people. And that's to name a few. I got a lot more, too, that just are ready at a moment's notice. So, shout out to those guys.
Hold up. I know y'all tapped in and all of that, but I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share, comment, do all that cool stuff. This helps the platform grow, and this helps more filmmakers get their voices heard. I'm here for the creators. Let's get back to the conversation. So, tell us a little bit about My City, and tell us, what inspired you to even write My City?
That's a great question. So, what inspired me to write My City is, I think the area I live in is, it's a small but big, big area. As in, we have a lot of personalities coming from the city, coming from all over the place, to, set up shop here, and they want this place to be their own. And, whether it's starting a business, mom and pop shop, there's, everyone's trying to be the high roller, whatever it is. But another reason what inspired it was my buddy William O'Keefe, who I met in a couple years ago now, and just hit it off from the get-go. And I moved to a new area, and he was one of the first guys, or I moved back to where I'm from. And, we just wanted to make a film. It's like, oh, you make films? I make films. Like, you have a camera? I have a typewriter, kind of thing. All right. You hold the camera. And so it went from making something kind of funny to, we've been making films for years now. Let's do something serious. And then when we got real serious about it, then I wanted to make something about this area, something that people could relate to. And My City comes from, just a part of maybe the underworld, we'll call it. Okay. When the area continued to change over the years. Different people, different cultures, different gangs wanting a piece of this city, and it's all about whose city is it gonna be. So that's where we end on part one, with Alonzo tied up in a chair, and is he get out of that chair, or is it gonna stay, or is he not? So he's a part of one of the gangs that are trying to get a piece of this city.
Okay. Now, how long did it take you to write My City?
My City didn't take too long. It probably took a month to write.
A month? Okay. So Okay, so wait, hold up 1 second. All right, one no city. All right, hold up. Okay, so it took you a month. All right, so how many shooting days did it take to film My City?
Well, we did no budget again, so we're working with very limited time. Hence, a lot of people dropped out because I guess when you're no budget, hey, I can't do this day. I'm sorry, I gotta go work. So working on very limited time. Took probably 1, 2, 3 days to shoot. A total of probably eight to 10 hours.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I understand that actors dropping out the last minute. I experienced that a couple times.
Exactly, man.
Exactly. So, all right. So you doing a fundraiser for My City? Like, what made you want to do a fundraiser for it, and how is that coming along?
What made me want to do a fundraiser is the hell I've been through making short films, no budget, for 6 years. It's really, with no money, you're going off. I don't know. It's like a Hail Mary pass into the end zone. Like you have no idea how it's going to turn out. You have to deal with whatever you get. You can't really call reshoots for no budget films. It's just not fair to anyone involved with who's already put all this time and effort. They're hard. I mean, time is money. So starting in business, that's what you learn. And this is an effort to, really do it right. Buy the right props, pay the cast, pay the crew, pay these people that are, giving up these locations, and then get the best locations too, get the best shots. Before we're just working with what we got. Does this guy at this gas station want us to shoot? Is this, the no budget life. I can't tell you how many times the cops have come.
Yeah.
People are chasing us down the street, like at the excuse me, like get out of here, man. Like you can't film around here. So every attempt to avoid that. Also, just safety too. We want people to be safe. No budget, it's very risky too, because you can't do a lot of shots you would want to do. No budget, but with a budget, you can pay for that safety equipment that you need. And like these people that are driving so far away too, like helping that out too. And then if we need to get a U-Haul or something, so it's just making a good film takes a lot of moving parts. And another reason I do this is because that's how I'm wired, and I love all these parts, and these, you gotta stay organized. And but yeah, it's a lot of effort. So that's why I did this fundraiser, is because I want the people that have been following me for so long, who's been supporting me, and some have asked, like, how can I support? And I haven't, like, for over the last 5 years, like, hey, I want to support you, man. How can I support? And I'm like, just wait. The time will come, and this is the time. If you liked my content, if you like what I've done, you like the energy I'm putting out there to the world, like, this is the time to support. This is the time to support the people in this that are also doing some incredible things. So yeah, that's why I figured it was time.
Oh, that's good. So like, how is that working out for you though? Like, and how do you go about like marketing your the fundraiser?
Yeah. So another great question: how do you market a fundraiser? Fortunately, I think I have a decent following. And then not like, I may not have the biggest numbers following on Instagram, but I think I've just established relationships. It's one thing I try to do is, even when I was, throughout the years, even before I started filming, it's just like, it's not, you can just hand a business card to someone.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I'm like, hey, let me see your reel. Hey, let me do where are you from? I really try to get to know these people that follow me. So it's really, I'm going on Instagram, going on my website, my cast and crew too. I share them the link. Hey, share this with your friends and family, so that's really it. It's a moving process. It's a day-to-day thing. You can't, stop because, you get, like, if you stop, then, people won't see it anymore. Like, so, but that's how I really go about it, just telling friends and family, sharing the link, and, seeing what happens. And we just surpassed $1,000, which is great.
Congratulations on that. Yep.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see and appreciate every single person that has, believed in me in this project, and has been willing to support.
And so when's the deadline for it?
The deadline?
Yeah.
End of September. We're gonna, start filming, start the process of this thing. So no matter what we get, if we reach the goal, if we don't reach it, something's gonna be filmed. So there's gonna be some great actors, great crew. Excited to work with this makeup artist too. We got a lot of high stakes scenes.
Okay.
So something's gonna be filmed, and everyone who's been waiting for a little bit will see how my city continues.
Okay. So what's next after filming This Is My City? Is there going to be a third part to it?
Yeah. So again, it's a 3-part series.
Okay.
That's the vision. So if we don't hit our budget here, our goal, we'll have to extend it to 4 parts. The vision is a 4-part series, or a 3-part series, sorry. And that's that vision too, the 3-part series, where our goal is to submit all 3 parts, 4 if need be, to film festivals, all in one clip.
Okay.
And then hopefully, if people like it, I'm gonna have the, once we started, the goal is to have the featured screenplay.
Okay.
So, if people like it, I'm gonna have the whole story on one featured length script, so we can make a featured length film out of this.
Okay. I like that. So what are like 3 of your favorite films?
3 of my favorite films?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I mean, I'm old school a lot, and I am a big Daniel Day-Lewis fan, but I'll try not to put all of his films in my top 3. But Last of the Mohicans.
Okay.
I just think everything about that film, from Daniel Day-Lewis's his method acting, and I've done a lot of research on that film and what it took to do that. And he spent 6 months in upstate New York, I believe it was, preparing for the role and morphing into that character. So that's another reason I, you know, stayed. I know my role. I want to, and that's working with actors like really intimately, and that allows me to let the cameraman do their thing, and whoever else is behind the camera with me, script supervisor and all that. But
Okay.
yeah, Michael Mann's directing too. I think he really allowed Daniel Day-Lewis to do his thing, and it made a great film. Historically, I think a lot of people are upset with that film. Not, it's missing a few. It's as far as historically accurate. But I think they overall did a great job. My next film, and I watch this constantly, is The Dark Knight.
Yeah, classic.
I don't know. I think the writing was just so simple. They didn't try to overdo anything.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we know Heath Ledger did put together one of the most incredible supporting cast roles. And probably I don't think ever can be surpassed. But I'd love to see someone try. And I think it's worth someone trying to see if they can do as good as him. Last one, man, it's a hard one. I think, and again, I'm trying not to put two Daniel Day-Lewis films.
No, if it's your favorite, it's your favorite.
I will put. We won't think of Daniel Day-Lewis. We'll think of another great director, third great director, which is Steven Spielberg. Lincoln.
Okay.
Another thing that's just like, you know, another a thing by Daniel Day-Lewis, like, and for me as a writer director, if I want to work with these great actors, I have to get my shit together, right? I have to write a good script, and Daniel Day-Lewis turned down the script the first time Steven Spielberg sent it to him. It took him another 6 years to get the script right. So just everything, that film, I think just everyone in that, a part of that, the cast, they just took their time, and you could tell it was just a labor of love. No one, it was just really cool to see. And another film I watched constantly. Big Abraham Lincoln fan. Just, you know, researching him and figuring out the type of man he was, what made him tick. And I think they figured out. They really keyed in on a lot of areas that, you know, what made that man tick. Yeah, those are my top three. Right? There's the list can go longer. The Bourne movies, I think, are great.
No,
I'm not going to list the mob movies, but A Bronx Tale, I love that. Casino, Goodfellas, those are great. You know, New York films, New York, Jersey area films, so those are good.
Okay.
Dramas historical dramas is what I really love, and then a little bit of fantasy. Throw in the Dark Knight.
Okay. I see that. So, what advice do you have for any other filmmakers or just anybody in our community, other creators in the filmmaking community?
That's a good. You're asking a great question. The advice I would have is, don't just pay attention to yourself in the beginning. Just don't compare yourself, and try not to imitate so much other people. In the beginning, you know, they always said the famous quote is, "Great artists steal, good artists." I don't know, something about stealing stuff. But in the beginning, I think it's important just to, like, put out, you know, don't study other people too much, because then you'll get overwhelmed by the until you are real confident in, like, who you are as a filmmaker, then go into studying people. then go into breaking down film, then go into that. At least that goes for like independent. If you're really trying to make your own stuff, you know, if you're trying to make your own stuff, really know who you are first before you start like studying the greats, the people that have made these amazing films. And that's, I think, backwards what they teach in like film school and stuff. You know, they tell you to learn from these people first. Yeah, my advice is do the opposite. You know, I'm just one guy to many. So that's what I would say.